Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, the PlayStation 6 is not even out yet, and apparently people are already starting to go complain about what it's going to cost, if it's going to even be worth it, and at the end of the day, are we pretty much okay still with the PS5 for a very long time? Now, as you guys know, this is kind of a weird subject to go cover, but it's kind of been trending these last few days with a little bit more information on the PS6, and obviously we're seeing brand new information on the leaks, as well with the brand new PlayStation 6 handheld, and obviously we saw the price increases going up, we're seeing the tariff talks and all of that. So right now, a lot of people are concerned on the PlayStation 6, the future generation of consoles, and if it's just going to be too much money for people that even want to invest on into. So I do a little bit of a pop-on cozy Sunday night video to talk about this, kind of my thoughts on the future of consoles, and as well, kind of agreeing that consoles are getting expensive, gaming is getting expensive, and we even saw the news that it seems like Nvidia is also trying to go raise their own prices too as well for GPUs. So on top of that, we have all these big companies leading the PC end, making things more expensive. Consoles themselves are also getting more expensive due to AMD, Nvidia, etc. And of course, just things like the PS5 Pro are like $700 already. So the price point is already all the way up there. So what is gonna happen next? Is that gonna be the price point for $700 flat? Is it gonna be more? What's going on? Let's yap about it. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications. I'm gonna be doing a little bonus stream too as well up on Twitch. Hang out if you guys are bored. We also have the Switch 2 giveaway link down below. Enter it on that one and the second YouTube account, all the usual stuff. Let's dive into the fact that the PS6 is going to be way too expensive, and I can't imagine the upgrade being worthwhile. Now, we don't necessarily fully even know what the specs are going to be. I think right now the rumored dates are maybe around 2027 or 2028, so maybe holiday 2027 or early 2028, either or, like, it just depends. There's so many what ifs at this point, and we'll see what kind of happens in the future. I mean, we had the prior Switches around like the summertime, springtime. Now we're kind of seeing, like, you know, the consoles around like the October, September range or so, give or take. I probably would be assuming 2027 around October, November, September range or so, depending if you're looking at the pre-orders or normal sales. So maybe like 2 years out. That kind of lets people have a few more years for the PS5 Pro, etc. And there's also be a lot of people that are just going to be running the PS5 for a while. We still have games coming on the PS4. Why would they not be coming out with the PS5? And well, it's just gonna be kind of crazy because this does all cost a lot of money. Saying the PS5 Pro retails at $700, and although I will say it's been a good deal, a lot of people have actually been picking them up with the affiliate links down below, so thank you. But they're also not including the separate disc drives, like an $800 console. And on top of that, with people still discussing the tariffs, people keep on thinking all this could go get worse, because even Sony themselves, and we covered this on a video, said that the PS5s could see a similar price hike to the Series X, which rose by a staggering $100 as well. And that's a $600 base. So imagine no matter what, a $600 baseline PS6, and that's being generous at this point. They're saying they're never going to buy a PS5 Pro, but kudos to those who did. But the idea of throwing out an already expensive console just to spend hundreds of more dollars for a few extra frames in some minuscule resolution improvements baffles them. They haven't seen a lot of people on the PC end apparently, because I know some people who would drop $3,000 just to get a slightly better frame, or they play a game they really like. Depends on the person and the vibe. PS5 Pro isn't the point though. What's worrying about all this price gouging is what it means for the next console generation. And that is something that concerns me as well, because I don't want to spend $800 on a PS6. I mean, $450 on a Switch 2 is even a little bit on the high end too as well, because there's a lot of good handheld devices that can be arguably better than them, or at least very similar. So it's kind of a hard sell, but they, of course, they have the Nintendo exclusives. So, like, for me, I'm okay with it, kind of, you know, play the Mario Kart, get some Zelda games up and that. Like, I'm cool with that. But other stuff, not so much. Although, it does seem like we're getting into, like, this weird territory where PC and, like, console are somewhat just options of each other. They've always been an option, obviously, but I think, like, PC for a little bit more enthusiastic side and slightly more expensive money to kind of invest a little longer into more customizable. And then consoles is more of, like, I just want to play games with my buds, make it easy. Like, that's kind of the vibe we have going on here. But as the prices go up on both ends, more people are kind of skewing towards PC because, well, if you're going to drop $1,000 anyway, or $800 on, say, a PS5 Pro plus tax, might as well maybe splurge a little bit more and get a PC, which can let you play most of these games regardless, and a lot of these games are coming to PC anyway. And they're saying, well, too, that they'll most likely be assuming the PS5 Pro is probably going to be a little bit more money. PS4 Pro sold for $400, the PS5 at the start was $500. We assume that the Sony follows Microsoft's playbook. The PS5 Pro could then rise to $800 or $900, including the disc drive in the stand. That means with the next gen price hike on top, this is speculation. I think it will be cheaper, more mass produced, and obviously as time goes on, technological costs and improvements go down as well. But in my mind, I'm assuming that this will probably go down over time. But saying that this one, there's a chance the PS6 launches at $1,000. I think it's a little bit too much for the normal consumer. Still, in this day and age, inflation does exist. I'd be guessing their goal would be to try to match the PS5 Pro price point if they really want to raise it, but at the same time, they want to make it mass producible, and because of that, they can lower the prices because they're making like 50 million of them in a few years. It'll kind of go down over time, and then they maybe have a cheaper digital version. I think this might be a little bit on the over-end side too, because we don't know these tariff things to be lasting forever, and we'll have to see if Xbox keeps their $600 price tag or not, but it is a big deal. But I was trying to say that the generational leaps aren't big enough to justify the upgrade anymore. Saying new consoles used to mark revolutionary leaps that would dramatically alter the medium forever. Sony remolded what it meant to play games in 1997 with their PlayStation's dual analog sticks and basically just kind of changed up the game. But right now they're saying that right now there's a big graphical wall, basically hitting that on the PS4. Saying that games like there are some of the best looking games of all time. Red Dead Redemption 2, Last of Us Part 2, and these games themselves are, well, kind of the peak. Like, we've played on PC, better frames, looks nicer, don't get me wrong. They're on the PS5 Pro, looks better, AI, etc. Like, it's there. It is better. But it's more of like the noticeable difference. Like going from a PS2 to PS3 or PS2 to PS4 is noticeable. Will we see a big noticeable difference from the PS4 to PS6? Hopefully, but we kind of, I think, been seeing more of like AI, bigger worlds, more like in-depth worlds, which I kind of prefer. Like, I don't necessarily want to see these huge graphical leaps, but I like to see a more immersive world, like more trees, more shadows, more ray tracing, which I think is still a nice improvement nonetheless. Things like hair physics, etc., like the world being bigger, the world loading faster. Like, this is like kind of just optimizing the gaming experience. But I would say the PS5 to PS6 will be a hard improvement from that, because we already have pretty much instantaneous load times to the PS5, and at the same time to the PS6, what's going to be that much more difference? We had like the AI integration, those will be better, maybe better graphics, you know, going for 8K, but not many people even have 8K. Like, it's kind of one of those things where, like, really, what is going to be the next big step for it? And I agree on that. Will I buy a PS6 day one? Yes. Yeah. Let's be honest, yeah, I probably will. I'm sure a lot of you guys will too as well, because why not? But at the same time, this is a valid comment. Is it going to be too expensive? Are people too worried about it? Is it something that we're all going to be generally worried about overall? I would say yes. I would say yes. Let's just be honest. I don't know. So they're saying while many generational leaps are dramatically shrinking, prices are dramatically increasing due to like production costs, etc., etc. They're saying moving to the point for the PS3 is a counter argument, which considering inflation costs $930. Insane. But that doesn't take in for the wider context how little wages have increased and how much the basics like rent and food have skyrocketed thanks to the pandemic and cost of living crises that will all probably also worsen with tariffs, which hopefully this will get sorted sooner than later. Gaming is fast becoming an unaffordable luxury, but there's no point in forking out for the next gen anyway, because we'll most likely have the PS5 for a very long time, still supporting games, and same with the PS5 Pro. As we saw with this generation, Sony will no doubt continue to support the last generation, as many games will be cross-gen and run perfectly fine on old hardware. The only reason to upgrade will be scant few exclusives, but they're few and far between. With that Mario Kart world, it will also probably cost $80, and I want to make a video on this throughout the week. Same with GTA 6, maybe even $100. It just makes a lot of things very expensive, and it's harder to go sell people on these expensive consoles. Now, this is all really good justifications, because I think a $1,000 price tag, especially jumping from $400, is very unlikely. But I mean, that is a somewhat valid concern, maybe for more of a PS7. I'd probably assume a PS6 would be $600. Like, that seems like the golden marker for me. That's what I'm probably expecting. The PS5 Pro is a little bit on the costly end, but we're hoping that maybe it gets cost down more. We'll see. Maybe $700 is the baseline Pro to match the Pro itself would also make sense. I don't think $1,000 is going to be it. But if it is, I probably would consider not even buying one. I'll be honest, unless there's some crazy stuff I really want, $1,000 would be too expensive for me. And, well, a lot of people, analysts, etc., even though I think they're wrong, like, I don't think it's gonna get that bad. I think the tariff situation will get better over time. But, like, yeah, this is kind of a big deal. Like, it's very expensive. I can see why people are concerned about it. It's a very expensive experience. And I kind of get it. And I don't think I'd spend $1,000 on a PS6. I don't think I'd spend $1,000 on the next Xbox. Now, would I maybe spend like $400 on a handheld version? Maybe, I really would, but I'm happy with my PC. I'd probably drop more money to go get a better GPU. Although once again, GPU prices are also increasing. Basically, the whole more of this video is everything costs so much money. Can we have an amen in the comment section down below? Because good Lord have mercy, this stuff is getting a lot of money. So ideally, the cheaper things are, the more mass affordable, the better. And I would appreciate PlayStation not make us charge $1,000. And I think a lot of people might be okay sticking with their PS5s for a lot longer, not upgrading as quickly, because it does cost a lot of money over time to even go get your consoles at the end of the day. So give me your thoughts, because we've been seeing a lot of thoughts on the PS6 coming out, future consoles, Xbox's price increases, and they're all concerning. I want to hear your concerns and thoughts down below. You guys are subscribing, the notifications on if you guys want to. The Switch 2 giveaway is also linked down below on the Twitter and the comment section. So come hang out on Twitch. If you guys are bored, we'll be hanging out and vibing. And I appreciate you all so much for watching here in the first place.